So, Netivot Shalom Sefer Bamidbar in the Parashat Shelach Lecha, right, about the Meraglim, and it's page Samech Bet, Sav, the grandpa page. So, Parashat HaMeraglim Tzicha Biura, we need like lots of explanation about this Parsha. Shilechora, it seems like it's a big question here. The whole thing, שביקשו לתור את הארץ, right, that they requested, that they were asked to tour the land, וכדכתיב, ראיתם את הארץ, מהי, right, and what you're going to look at the land, what's going on over there, what's the story, the people that see it, they're strong, they're weak, they are a lot, less, what if the land is good or bad. Like they were going on a mission, a recon mission, an intel mission, right, to spy. Big question. והלא דור ההוא, עיניהם ראו את ההנהגה העל-טבעית ביציאת מצרים וקריאת ים סוף. So that generation, they saw what's going on in Egypt, with all the plagues, the splitting of the sea, and all the miracles that they have in the desert, and the Netivot. They had the clouds, they had the fire, water out of the rocks, every day they had the man, right? So, השם מנהיג, הקדוש ברוך הוא מנהיג את ישראל בהנהגה על-טבעית. ואם כן, מה היו צריכים עוד למרגלים? לדעת את העם היושב עליו, החזק רופא. So, if Hashem is having all of these miracles, why do you need to have spies even to look at the land or to understand what's going on over there? If they're strong, if not, if the land is good or not, Hashem promised us. It's good enough, right? Hashem has promised you, I'm giving you my word. It's going to be the land of milk and honey. So much shefa, wealth, everything will be there. You're going to doubt Hashem? And also, we need to explain, because later on in Sefer Dvarim, right, Sefer Dvarim is a recap for the entire Chumashim. He said, ותקרבון אליי כולכם ותאמרו נשלחה לשפר. Here, the Torah is telling us that story that the people ask, right, ותקרבון אליי to Moshe, they got close to Moshe, and you would say, or you would ask, נשלחה אנשים, let's send people in front of us prior to our arrival, ויחפרו לנו את הארץ, that they will dig the land, right, like, again, a mission to spy. ויטב בעיניי הדבר. So it means that Moshe was also agreeing with that idea to send spies. And also we need to explain what Hashem said to Moshe, כל נשיא בהם, right, send the head of the tribe, like big people, right, VIP people. So why do you need to send, again, and we learned it before, right, that usually if you want to send a spy to a place, you train somebody that will blend, that will be professional, you know, martial arts, how to operate things, how to disguise himself, how to not standing out, right? You don't send your valuable assets, which are the leaders of your tribes, to the enemy lines with their clothing and everything. Everybody will see them. Everybody will identify them, right? You need to send 007 with a license to kill. והעניין כמו שאמרו חז"ל, as our sages says, שלח לך אנשים, send people, שלח לך לדעתך, for yourself, right? That was for דעת משה, which mean, ראינו שלמשה הייתה דעה מיוחדת בשליחותם, right? שונה מדעת המרגלים, which mean that Moshe has an agenda, but the Meraglim have their own agenda, right? The first conflict here. וזהו מאן דכתוב, and this is what it says, ויטב הדבר בעיני משה, and it was good in the eyes of Moshe. The main thing was to send the Meraglim, right? עצם הדבר, לשלוח מרגלים מוטב בעיניו. That was like it was a good idea to send the Meraglim. Yes. But, רק הדבר עצמו, ולא הכוונה שהייתה להם. So, it was good in the eyes of Moshe to send them, but not with the same idea or kavana that the Meraglim had. He had a different mission, right? ודעת משה בשליחת המרגלים לא הייתה על מצבה הגשמי של ארץ ישראל, אלא על מצבה הרוחני. So Moshe didn't care about the physical situation of the land of Israel, but on the spiritual situation. כאילו, זה לעומת זה עשה השם, right? Hashem made this and the opposite, which means שהיות וקדושת ארץ ישראל היא גבוהה ביותר, the קדושה, it's very high in the land of Israel, more than other places in the world. And in front of that, or opposite to that, or as a counter to that, the Sitra Achra, the other sides are also very strong over there in the land of Israel. And כתוב, עמלק יושב בארץ הנגב, והחיתי והיבוסי והאמורי, right? So there were different nations, but they had also shells and klipot and negative things that they were very strong over there. And they surrounded the land of Israel. And this is what Moshe wanted to know. He wanted to spy, he wanted to meragel. כדי לדעת כוח הקליפה, what's the strength of the klipa? What's the, you said, the vulnerable things for these shells, how to overcome, how to conquer them, the weak points. And this is the meaning, this is the perush, החזק הוא הרפה, היינו כוח הקליפה, what's the shell strength? And what's the way לשבור כוחות אלו, and how we can break these forces, evil forces. וכן הטובה עם רעה, there are lands, right? ויש ארצות שטבעם לגדל אנשים טובים, there are lands that they're actually growing up good people over there, with good character. ויש ארצות שבטבעם לגדל אנשים, right, less good, like רעים, evil people, that the character is bad. So Moshe sent the מרגלים לראות את הארץ, to tour the land, to see what's the spiritual weather over there. Is it good or bad? And all of that, שכל זהו מעניין הכנה רוחנית, קודם הכניסה לארץ. So it's like it's a spiritual preparation before they enter the land, to know how they need to overcome and conquer. And for that, they need the head of the Bnei Israel to go on that mission, a spiritual leader, because only them can evaluate and assess the spiritual situation in the land of Israel. But that was not their agenda. Their agenda was on the physical situation, to check the מצב הגשמי של ארץ ישראל. Because they assumed wrongly that Hashem ruling, which was all miracle, הנהגה על-טבעית, was only when they left Egypt and while they're in the desert. But when they're going to land to the land of Israel, they're going to be in the same status as the rest of the nation. Uma, right, a nation שהאגדה טבעית, ככל שהאומות. The הנהגה, the ruling of Hashem will be like the same of the rest nation. And therefore they wanted to know. רצו לשלוח המרגלים לדעת. איך יכבשו את הארץ באופן טבעי, how they can conquer the land in a natural way. וזהו מה שאמר הקדוש ברוך הוא, but Moshe, Hashem told Moshe, אשלח לך לדעתך, send them, but only to your, according to your agenda. The purpose that you're sending them, that should be their mission. But not to their agenda. But this is what they did. They wanted to meragel and to see what's the physical condition of the land. And he says here, Vishba Hashem le'emor, right after what happened, and they came back, right, and they say evil tone on the Lashon Hara in the land of Israel. So Hashem like swear, had a covenant. וישבע השם לאמור, אם יראה איש באנשים האלה, הדור הרע, like I swear that if one single person of that wicked or bad generation will see the good land that I swear to give to your fathers, because they don't have the emunah, they don't have the faith in the land of Israel. Because the land of Israel also have a koach al-tivi, supernatural, and therefore they cannot inherit the land. Only your children that you said, right? This is what one of their complaints. Oh, children are going to be slaves, right? They're going to take our children. He said, no, the children that you complain that they're going to take them, they're going to inherit the land. Because they will have that fate. וזה ביארנו מה כתוב על המרגלים, right? It says in תהילים בק"ו, וימאסו בארץ חמדה, and like they spies a wonderful land. שלכאורה, it's look like, הרי לא מאסו בארץ ישראל עצמה. It's not that they despise the land of Israel itself. On the contrary, they say, באנו לארץ, we came to the land and we saw milk and honey and everything, but we got scared from the people that actually dwelling there. Right? For the people that dwell in the land, this is what got them scared. But he said, but this is a very high level, a special divine level of the land of Israel. That it's not like the rest of the countries, because it's a country that Hashem, right, it says, כימן דכתוב, ארץ אשר השם אלוקיך דורש אותה תמיד, עיני השם אלוקיך בה. It's a land that Hashem always demanding or asking or looking and watching, and the eyes of Hashem metaphorically are always looking at. So the ruling, שהנהגתם אסורה בידי הקדוש ברוך הוא בדבר עצמו, he's the one that actually controlled the land of Israel. Not like the other countries and places in the world when they have ministers, angels, spiritual angels that controlling or leading. וזהו פירוש, וימאסו בארץ חמדה, that they despise a wonderful land. Because they didn't believe, the Meraglim didn't believe, they didn't have a faith in the הנהגה על-טבעית של ארץ ישראל. And that's the כפירה יותר גדולה בקדושת הארץ. And they were like heretic in the Kedusha of the land of Israel, of the divine Kedusha. And this is what they despise. And then here he said, right, that they assume that the land of Israel is like the rest of the countries, and it's very limited, and natural by the law and order of the physics, right? And therefore they got scared. But the people over there were giants and they were very strong. Because if they would have the faith and believe that there is the anaga al-tivit, like the above nature ruling by Hashem, then it doesn't matter for them or to us if the people are giants, if they are strong. Who cares? Because and the proof was that as they were starting to get to the land of Israel, the Yarden, the river, the Jordan River, split for them. What a huge miracle, right? As they just entered. Vainyan. So the matter here, Shibekocho, right? So what's the thing that a Jew can merit for the Kedusha of the land of Israel? It's midah keneged midah. It's the same effort that he will put. שלפי ערך מה שמתייגע להשריש בקרבו, the more we root in ourselves the faith in ההנהגה על-טבעית של ארץ ישראל, the same way we will inherit the land, the Kedusha of the land. And somebody that doesn't believe in that could not exist there. Which means the Meraglim, because they didn't have a faith, they didn't believe in Anaga al-Tivit, they prevented themselves from entering the land. And only the children were able to go over there. And our holy Torah, right? והתורה הקדושה היא נצחית בכל הדורות. It's infinite. And this topic is related to us always, right? To any Jew. That the merit to inherit the land, the ירושת הארץ, לקבל the Kedusha of the land, is by having the faith in הנהגה על-טבעית. That really Eretz Israel is not a normal place on a positive side. The rest of the places are normal places. Eretz Israel is not. It's above. In all the levels of Eretz Israel, בבחינה על-טבעית, supernatural. As the Kuzari wrote, כי בארץ ישראל מאיר אור האלוקות, המאיר לישראל בתורה והעבודה, that the spiritual light exists in the land of Israel, and is lighting us the way, the path, in all the spiritual level. And he bringing a mashal, an analogy from the Sefer Kuzari, like a vineyard, that appropriate place to have a vineyard is in the mountain, because the mountain have terraces, have levels. And in the mountain, usually you have like the weather that is coming, and then it's not too cold, it's not too hot or warm in the season, and the grapes know where to go, and they're all starting, all the vines and everything. And that's a place for a vineyard. Don't plant a vineyard in a tropical area or in a desert, because it's not going to grow well, if at all. You said the same way, that's the land of Israel. Only there we can achieve spiritual level. Now, we should not take it really literally, as he said here, although it is very important, because the analogy, the mashal about the vineyard, do not apply to the land of Israel, because we do have vineyard and very successful grapes in the middle of the desert, when it's 115 near Eilat, in the middle of the desert. You have huge vineyard, and actually they're producing very good wine. So that's another proof that the land of Israel is not a normal place. And this spiritual achievement we can really gain in the land of Israel because of the Hanaga al-Tivit. Where is that picture? Thank you. Right. But although, because we have such kind of high kedusha in the land of Israel, we have also the kochot haklipa היותר גדולים, the strongest evil, wicked, negative forces. But it doesn't take anything from the kedusha of the land. Right? As Yoshua and Caleb said, Tova Aretz Meod Meod, they doubled the lashon of the land is very, very good. Even though still all the klipa, all the shell were still there. He said, still, it's like praising Hashem. As he says, all the garbage, all the filth of the world could not make you dirty. And also the Ari HaKadosh says, Kol kochot hatuma, they don't take anything out from the Gedusha. Right? Because the land will always remain with the Gedusha. And another way we can explain, כדאית בבאר מים חיים, to explain this question. Why we need to have the head, the leaders of the tribes, and also when it says, וייטב הדבר בעיניי, right, that Moshe was actually pleased with the idea to send meraglim. And he explained it very lengthily. He said that that way that the preparation that was prior to their going down to Egypt, right, now it's going back in time, because the land of Egypt was the Ervat Haaretz, what is a very filthy place from desires, right, from lust and desires. So the same way we had the preparation before. Pharaoh took Sarah, he gave her the land Goshen, Judah went first, built the yeshivot. Yosef was actually prior to that, he was weakening the clip of the Arayot by rejecting the wife of Potiphar. So everything was a preparation before the Bnei Israel actually went down to Egypt. So this is how we explain. And he said, even though, right, even though that Egypt was a very filthy place, when they left from Egypt, nobody was parutz barayot, nobody was doing arayot. And we need to understand which strength they had, how they could hold on so many years, right, 210 years, then when they stayed in the most place on earth, which was the Egypt, the Ervat Haaretz, and still nobody was parutz barayot. They said, yeah, prior to that, Hashem was purifying the unpure air of Egypt, as we just said. He sent Sarah, and then Yosef, and then Judah, right? And they were living in the land of Goshen that was belonged to Sarah, etc., etc. He said, and this is the same thing that Moshe was sending the Meraglim Eretz Canaan, because the land of Canaan was also like the land of Egypt again. Not Chas v'Chalila the Gedusha, but the Klipot were there. The spiritual negative forces were there. And that's why it says, right, כמעשה ארץ כנען אשר אני מביא אתכם שמה לא תעשו. Do not mimic, do not copy what the people that live over there doing. And therefore he sent the 12 meraglim, each one represent the tribe. So 12 shvatim, 12 meraglim for the 12 shvatim. And the Arizal, it says, in Lekutei Torah, it says, שנתעברו בהם באותה שעה נשמותיהם של י' בית שבטי קה. That in the time that they went to the land of Israel, they like metaphorically, spiritually conceived the 12 tribes, the Neshama, the original tribe, the original sons of Yaakov. Because Hashem wanted, right? And this is what, and that's why Moshe liked the idea, because for his opinion, he's sending them to purify the Avir Tameh, the impure air of Eretz Canaan, and bring it Gedusha. And therefore, he needed to have all the people there to be the head of the tribe, the spiritual leader. And the explanation about Gzerat 40 Shana. So now, after they came back, right, after 40 days, there is a decree for 40 years in the desert. And he said, this is according to Maraba Akadosh Magid Mikoznik, Tzichoto Gan Alenu, that he said, Kabel et haemet mimi shama, accept the truth from whoever said the truth. He said, in the 6 days of Bereshit, Hashem already determined the order of the creation and the schedule and everything that the entire creation is going to be going accordingly. And all the events of the world, everything, the good thing, the bad thing, the wars, everything was already determined from the 6th day that Hashem created. And the sages explain, right, on the pasuk, Va'aretz hayta tohu vavohu v'choshesh gadol al pnei tehom, right? He said it's talking about the 4 exiles and the day of Mashiach. But he said, but indeed, inside the Seder Hanhaga, right, we learned it, you have like a wheel, a tire, and inside you have a tube, or 2 circles that go inside, like ball bearings. That you have the outside one, which this is the schedule, this is what was determined, and you have another round circle inside that move according to what we do. If we keep Torah and mitzvot and fulfilling what Hashem asks us to do, then we can change the redemption time. We can mitigate many things, right? But if we don't, then we go according to the schedule. If, for example, Adam HaRishon was not eating the fruit, then everything would be like the time of the creation. If we wouldn't do the sin of the golden calf, if we didn't do the Chet HaMeraglim, right? We had the option, we had the ability to change. So he said, שהזמן הקצוב לכניסתם לארץ ישראל, right? So the time that was scheduled for us to go into the land of Israel, to the Holy Land, right? היה בעצם אחר 40 שנה. כיוון דכתוב בברית בין הבתרים. He said, actually, it was predetermined during the prophecy that Hashem gave Avram in the covenant between the parts. It says, ודור רביעי, 4th generation, they will return. Why? כי לא שלם עוון האמורי עדנה. Because the sins of the nation that called Emori, they didn't complete the sins, which means they couldn't go into the land. So we can look at it in 2 ways. The time is not come, so we're sending Meraglim. They came back and say Lashon Hara. So we said, okay, now you need to wait 40 years. Anyway, they needed to wait the 40 years. It looked like it was fixed. But that's why Hashem told Moshe, Shlach lecha anashim, send people for yourself. That if they will do the job properly, then because of their Gedusha, in the strength of the 12 Shvatim that were, the Neshamot came to them, they will enlight the land of Israel with the light of Gedusha, right? They're going to change it. And they will set a fire of Gedusha that will consume the Sitra Achra, and then there will be the fix, and then they will be able to change the schedule, which was 40 years only after. But they didn't do that. So Hashem said, okay, fine. You need to wait 40 years. And we're going to stop here because we need to go to Mincha. So we stopped here in page Simon A. And Bezrat Hashem on Thursday, we will continue.